guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing Thriller Thursday, and I got me some loaded chili cheese nachos with two pickled jalapenos on the side. And yeah, we're gonna eat a little bit and then we will get to the thriller, the story that I have for you. All right, these look so amazing. Mmm. 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 Hope y'all are having an amazing week. I am. I'm excited. This is my very first Thriller Thursday, so yeah. My next one will be on Halloween. Mm. On these nachos, chili cheese nachos, I have, of course, homemade chili, queso cheese sauce. I have sour cream, onion, and tapatio hot sauce. Mm. Thank you all for the support, for subscribing, for liking, for sharing, for commenting. I love them all. I love all your comments. Even the trolls. Hey. Even the negative comments, they help me out, so. Love you all too. Even though I'll be praying for you. Mm. Mm. Messy but good. Oh, so good. Mm. Oh, that's so good. Look at that bite. Also, I have joined memberships down below if you guys would like to join. If you don't, that's fine. All right. She's messy, but she is good. I just got sparkling ice, black raspberry. These things are amazing. I love these things. Zero sugar. Okay, guys. Very first episode of Thriller Thursday. I'm very, very excited. If you see me looking over here, it's because I'm reading the story. And I apologize if that bugs you, but I'm sure we'll find a way in the future. It'll get better as it goes. But, alright, this story is a haircut saved her life. One morning in 1972, a 22-year-old young woman named Satria Chrysanis was sitting at a bus stop in Seattle, Washington. It had been snowing and Satria was adjusting her cap against the cold. Her hat felt kind of weird on her head. Just a few days before, she had cut her brown hair really short. So she had long hair and she cut her hair really short just a few days ago. Satria actually loved her new haircut and couldn't wait to show her friends at school. But as she waited for her bus, she was becoming very impatient because her bus was now over an hour late. She had already missed one of her classes and was now in danger of missing her second class. Oh my. Because of the weather, the bus routes were all messed up that day. All of a sudden, Satria heard the honking of a horn. And as she looked up, right in front of her was a pale yellow Volkswagen Beetle. Looking through the snow, Satria then noticed that the passenger window was rolled down, and in the driver's seat was a young man, probably in his 20s. He had been waving her over. Like this. He was waving her over. He was well dressed with wavy hair and dark eyes. And just when she was thinking of just how handsome this man was, she leaned into the window. And she could feel the warmth of the car, and it felt amazing because it was cold outside. I can imagine. I would have been freezing. It would feel amazing. The man then said, "Hello, young lady. How are you waiting for the bus? Are you waiting for the bus?" So evidently he knew that she was waiting for the bus, huh? He then began telling her about how he had driven a long way down this particular avenue and hasn't seen a single bus in sight. "Would you like a ride?" he asked. Remember, guys, this was in the 1970s, and hitchhiking at this time in America was pretty common. Not nowadays. You don't dare to hitchhike nowadays. Especially on the West Coast. Satria was now freezing and jumped at this opportunity to just get warm and get to her classes on time. As the man pulled onto Rainer Avenue, Satria was just sat back and enjoying the warm air blasting out of the vents. Satria was actually about to apologize to this guy for making him drive so far out of his way when all of a sudden she heard him turn on his blinkers, preparing to turn right. This struck Satria as odd because, as she explained to him back on the curb, her school was a straight shot down Rainer Avenue. There was no need to turn, so what was he doing? She thought. Satria looked over at the man, expecting him to explain why they had taken this sudden detour. But the man just set straight ahead. Then a moment later, she heard the blinker turn on again. And she looked up and seen they were about to merge onto the interstate, which was definitely not the way to Satria's school. Now, Satria started feeling really fearful. I would have freaked out. Something's not right. She was about to open her mouth and tell this guy he was going the wrong way. He then cut her off. He said, "You know it's a terrible idea to take a ride from a stranger." The man kept talking as he merged onto the highway, but Satria wasn't listening at all. Instead, she was fixated on what he was doing with his right hand. His left hand was on the wheel, but with his right hand, he was fishing for something underneath his seat. Oh my gosh. Satria's mind began to race, and without taking her eyes off this man and what he was doing, she traced with her hand and felt for the door handle. But she couldn't feel it. And then she turned and realized there was no handle. It had been removed. Just then the man stopped rummaging around under his seat. Whatever he was looking for, he had now found it. The man sat partway up and looked at Satria with his hand still hidden behind one of his legs. His face had a determined but emotionless, there was no emotion, look on his face. At this point, Satria's heart was pounding so hard in her chest that she was worried that she was going to pass out from terror. All she could think about was, what is he hiding behind his legs? What was underneath his seat? Then something strange happened, guys. I'm really scared for this woman. The man's face changed from determined and cruel looking to confused. Satria watched as his eyes darted up to the top of her head. The man told Satria to take off her hat. Why would he do that? Like, why? With trembling hands, she did as she was instructed. I would too. Although she had no idea why he was asking, and when the hat was off her head, the man looked shocked. Why would he look shocked? I mean, she just took her hat off, right? He dropped whatever it was he had found back underneath his seat. Satria couldn't see it, but it sounded like a heavy metallic thud. There was a long, tense silence, and then when the man finally spoke, he just said, "Why did you cut your hair?" The man immediately got off the highway and drove fast to Satria's school. When he got there, he opened up the door for her and told her to get out. Thank God, right? He then pushed her to the ground, reminding her just how lucky she was, and then he drove away. Wow, guys. He drove away after seeing her hair was cut. He dropped her off and drove away. Yeah. Sorry, I have to take a little breaks because I had to eat this. That's so good. My chips are getting soggy. Alright, guys. So he dropped her off. Thank God. Right? I can't imagine it. Okay. So Tria told her family about the man, but not the police. So she never reported it to the police. She just told her family. She probably was scared. You know. She was kind of embarrassed that she had gotten into a stranger's car. You know. She should have never gotten a stranger's car, but it was cold. She was late for her classes. There was no bus in sight. It was back in the 1970s. So she didn't think anything of it at the time. In the first place. So she was kind of embarrassed that she had gotten into a stranger's car in the first place. And after all, despite being really creepy, he hadn't hurt her at all. And so she basically just tried to forget about it. So she just tried to forget about it. You know, it happened. I'm still alive. He didn't hurt me. You know, what's there to report, right? But few years later, Satria was watching TV when she saw a familiar face come on the screen. Wonder who that could be. That she's seen on the TV screen. It was the man. She's seen the man who had given her a ride being led into a courtroom in handcuffs. So there was something about this man, and he got caught for something, right? So Tria dropped everything at that moment and turned up the volume. And what she heard made her numb with horror. Because what the newscaster was saying was this man, who she was 100% positive was the same man who had given her a ride, was a suspected serial killer accused of ending the lives of dozens of young women, who he would lure into his pale yellow Volkswagen Beetle and then bludgeon them to death with a crowbar or tire iron. And he had a very specific type when it came to identifying his victims. They were all young women who all had long brown hair. And this man's name was, are you ready for it? Ted Bundy. So, guys, in context, so Tria would have been Ted Bundy's victim if she didn't cut her hair. That's why he put the crowbar or metal iron back under his seat and didn't bludgeon her to death at that very moment, or knock her out, or whatever he did, because he's seen that she didn't have long brown hair. And that wasn't his. He liked women that had long brown hair. That was his thing. That's who he went after. Isn't that crazy?
One thing I thought about is like, how long had he been watching her to begin with?
Right.
You know, maybe he's seen her with the long brown hair before, and this time he's seen her with a hat on and didn't know she cut the hair, you know.
Right.
So how long was he watching her?
Like, I can't imagine knowing that my hair saved my life. Because she wouldn't have been here. She would have been one of his victims. For definitely. Definitely. Isn't that wild?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, back then, Ted Bundy was a handsome young man. I mean, well dressed. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed that. That was first episode of Thriller Thursday. So yeah, if you enjoyed that, please like, comment, subscribe, and please share it away. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and I hope it goes far, and I hope you all enjoyed it, because I really enjoyed it. And maybe hopefully next time, I will have another one up on Halloween, which is Thursday, October 31st. But yeah, if you like that, please smash the like button, comment down below, and subscribe, share, and yeah, guys, thank you for joining me for this Thriller Thursday, episode 1 mukbang. Love you all, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, my loves.